Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim or Cimnanya, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, this young lady actually came out to say that Black Americans reject other Blacks, right? And I have questions to ask. Number one is that I have seen Black people rejecting Black Americans on several occasions. I see people only claim black when it is going to benefit them, right? And then run away when it is not convenient. They like your rhythm, but they do not want your blues, right? So I tried getting more facts from this, but the video got deleted, so I also couldn't get comments and all that. But I am going to say that we are better together, right? I mean, there is no need trying to probably make somebody uncomfortable or make the person feel they are not part of the community, except the person is giving that bad vibe, right? If you are giving bad vibe, you do not expect people to open arms for you and welcome you and the rest of it. Or you are also not being friendly, or you are also not being nice, right? So make sure you are also a nice person if you really want to be welcome in the community. Because severally, I have watched people tell, like people that look like me, say that I got nothing to do with Black people, or I am not Black, when they look exactly like me and all that. So, I mean, there are several cases, but you know what? Let's get into this.
I grew up in military bases overseas, and my parents were such sticklers about the way I spoke to people that I couldn't use African vernacular at home because my parents would literally slap what little black I had in me right the fuck out. So it wasn't happening. But when I went to school, I was treated really poorly by African Americans more than any other race. I was multilingual, so my friends that were Spanish, we would speak. Anybody who was French, and being on a military base, you have so many different people all assimilated together. So I was always speaking to all these people that came from different walks of life, and I could relate to them because my parents were immigrant. But African Americans would tell me, "Oh, your parents must have been boat people," or I was asked one time, which really hurt my heart, is, "Have your parents been tested for AIDS?" And I'm like, what? It just, as a kid, I was like, what? It didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand it. And I just always got treated like an outsider. I could never be part of their group. So even when they did have the time to spend and have me be part of it, I was still an outsider amongst the group. Like, they would have their own jokes and they would have their own conversation, and Black boys would never talk to me, ever, because I was from the poorest country in the world. My parents were from the poorest country in the world. You don't talk to her. And then from the Black girls, I was like, well, she's light skinned. She must be mixed with something. She's stuck up. Because look at her. She's speaking like that to those people. She talks like a white girl. And it was just, my parents were just very strict about how I spoke. My parents had such strong accents, and my mom oftentimes would be spoken to like she was delayed or not intelligent, and she didn't want that for me. So they were very particular about how I spoke to people and how well I pronounced what I was saying and had a good vocabulary. All these things were important to them, and yeah, no matter what, I couldn't assimilate. They just would never include me for anything. I didn't get beat up, because
Yeah.
I was about to give it back. So I didn't get beat up, but I was isolated a lot.
Mhm. I believe you. And when I was in high school, I didn't wasn't able to put it together because it didn't matter. Just being honest. But now that I look back and I think about these kind of things, I do remember clearly that the Black folks that were from other countries and they were newcomers to this country, in a way, like you said, isolated. They were not. They didn't fit in with the Black folk, with the Black Americans. I remember there's this kid, I don't remember from where in Latin America, but he was black, black, and he hung out with us. He didn't hang out with Black folks. I remember clearly two Black American girls walked up to him and said, "Excuse me, are you Black?" And I'm thinking, dude, no, he's white. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck you mean? And then he says, yeah, you speak Spanish? And then he says, yeah. Oh, he ain't black. And they just left. And I was like, now at that time, I didn't think anything of it other than what the hell. But now I'm like, wow, you saw your people. That's why you approach. Probably wondering why you're hanging out with these Mexicans. So you go over there and ask, are you black? And when he spoke a different language, oh, you're not. That's how you determine it because you obviously saw your people.
Yeah. But in our household, we couldn't live there without speaking more than one language. That's just the norm. Like, I don't know, probably Theo can relate and other Haitians can relate. You're in the house, you speak Creole, French, and English from birth. And then Spanish because you're around people who speak Spanish. So it's like staple. Staple. Everybody speak like that. We can go anywhere and talk to anyone. But they looked at that as me attempting to be more than them. And it was just like, that's just normal for me. That's how life is. I don't know any other way.
Everything that Dee's saying is true, especially about the speaking. Like, I was called white girl. I was called go back to your banana boat. And then when the refugee stuff started happening, I was called refugee, go back. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was really, really crazy. And I'm the first generation American. So my family's coming straight from the islands. Mom from Dominica, dad from Haiti, which very, 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 Pan-African, pro-African. It was tough because you don't belong to the American blacks, and then you're not island enough for the island people. You know what I mean? So it was just, and especially being dark skinned, then you have that. Like, my sister didn't get the treatment because she was light skinned. She didn't get the treatment I got. I got locked in the basement. I would get the beatings. I would get all this stuff. Just having to deal with that psychologically, I'm happy that I was able to manage it and understand this was a level of self-hate. This is what they were doing to separate us. And I don't understand, like, it really boggles my mind to see being questioned if I was black. I've been questioned about that too, which is weird.
Yeah.
Black.
I think it's important also to highlight this. We are not actually trying to attack any black folks, whether black American. No, this is actually
No.
in a way, at least as far as my intention, is for us to think about these things and look at our own hatred, our self hatred, our own divide. We divide ourselves from our own people, and
Exactly.
and I see this amongst my own people too. That's why it's very easy for me as a non-black person to understand this thing amongst black people, and it makes so much sense as soon as I see it because I'm like, hey, I get it, I see it too, and like she said, Annette said, we're healing. That's the goal here. The goal for these conversations is attempts to heal, not to try to attack anybody. If anybody in the comment section comes on and says, hey, bro, not all of us, it's not about that. It's not about not all of us. It's about, hey, listen to a very common issue here. Let's address it instead of get defensive like we're talking about you. No, we're talking about a common issue that affects a whole people. So let's confront
Exactly.
it and talk about
Thank you.
why.
Exactly. Because if you get a cut, you don't just act like the cut doesn't exist.
Right.
You have to address it. You have to see what it is, medicate it. That's how you heal something, by addressing whatever the issue is. So you're absolutely right.
So this is all I got from this video, and unfortunately, I went back to check if I would see comments, but they've already deleted the video and all of that because I wanted to see what people are saying about it. Now, let me start by saying that some people, I mean, if people ask you, are you black or something, why? Probably they want to know because there are people that look like me, but they do not agree that they are black. If you ask them, they will tell you no, that they are not black. True or false? We all will know all of that. People from the Dominicans and all that, Afro Latin, you see them, they tell you that they are not black, that they are Dominicans. So probably the people are trying to know if you are black or not, right? And you cannot actually say you are black because for some people, I might see a Somalian and ask him, they have said it several times, that they are not, do we look like black? We are not black. And the rest of it. But then I am going to say that if there is something I want us to do is to unite as one, because there is power in unity. We do not know how much power we have when we unite, when we all come together and join force to do things, right? Number one is that I know that they are trying so hard to divide and conquer and all that. But it is left for us to say that we are not going to let anyone divide us. We are going to stick together. But then I am not going to say that Black people shouldn't go around. Black people should not go around looking for people, because how good I have known Black people is that they are very welcoming. I mean, they are very well. If there is any, they are so welcoming and at the same time very sweet, right? And I am not advising anybody to go around start looking for somebody or trying to win soul to come to be a Black person and all that. But what I am going to say is that if we see a Black person that really want to be part of us and all that, please let's embrace them, love them, and do not discriminate. And at the same time, it is also very important we educate our children about some certain things, because there are people that you see from younger age, so like very small, you see them start bullying people. And you ask, like, there are some that I have seen so many bullies because I am a teacher. And sometimes you ask, where did they learn something like this from? Some probably from what they watch, some probably from parents and all that. But we really can do better with our children. Do not also fail. Let your child fail where you failed, right? I am not trying to say but we can do better to make our children better, right? By teaching them some certain things. One thing I do not like is people bullying people. Do not bully people. And do not sit and watch people bully people. I don't say when people are fighting back over being bullied. There are two different things. But when people are being bullied, like intentionally, you did not do anything and people are always on you. And also, if you are a parent, do not let anybody bully your child, because that is a no-no, right? Whether in school or anywhere, if you find out that your child is being bullied, make sure you report straight up to the school and trash all that out. If you find out your child is bullying somebody, make sure you discipline your child, right? And teach them to love people and not to bully, right? So in essence, what I am saying is that sometimes a tree cannot make a forest. We need each other, right, to conquer. But while we are needing each other to conquer, we definitely will need people that have like minds, right? Not people that you are going to bring in and then regret ever bringing them in. So that's all I have to say. Why not? Let me know what you all think. But I really hope her story is true and all that. I did not get comment or probably find her page to check out more about the video, but the video has actually been deleted, like I said. Let me know what you are thinking in the comment section. I see you all in my next video. Bye for now.